everybody, my name is Allie and I'm going to be running you through a yoga class today that is really fun and inspired by different movements that animals make. So there's going to be a lot of different animal postures in our class today, and it's going to be super fun. So we'll just get going, sitting down, really grounding through our seat, and we're going to pretend that we're a plant and we're going up towards the sun, up towards the sky. And we'll just close our eyes, looking up towards the sky. And we'll all together take one nice deep breath. Inhaling through the nose. And releasing through the mouth. Beautiful. So to get us started, in yoga we really want to pair a lot of our movements with the breath. So as we inhale, we're going to bring our shoulders up towards our ears, and then exhale, letting them drop back down. Inhale, raising the shoulders, and exhale, dropping them back down. One more time, inhaling up, and exhale, release. Now we're going to pair the same breath, but with movements with our hands. So inhale, we're going to reach all the way up overhead, looking up towards the sky. And exhale, arms come back down. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhaling up. And exhale, release. This time when we inhale, arms are going to come up. And exhale, we're going to twist to the side. So I'm twisting to my right side. My right hand is coming behind my back, and my left hand is coming to my right knee. So as we inhale, we're going to go straight through our back, and exhale, we're going to twist further into the posture, taking a couple of nice, long, deep breaths here for our warm-up. Inhale, arms come back up towards the sky, and exhale, we're going to twist over to the second side. So this time our left hand is coming behind us, and our right hand is coming onto our left knee. Inhaling to lengthen through the back, and exhale, twisting further, maybe looking over your shoulder if you want a little bit of extra twist in our warm-up. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. And on our next exhale, we'll come back through the center. Good. So we're going to bring our hands in front of us, and we're just going to come up so we're on all fours. So just making sure that we're in the right position. We're going to make sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulder and our knees are underneath our hips. So almost as if we are just in a table position. We're going to go into our first animal movement here, which is cat and cow. So we're going to start with cow as we inhale, and we're just going to drop our belly low to the ground as if we're a milk cow in a field. Maybe looking up towards the sky, checking it out, seeing if there's any rain. And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to go into a Halloween cat. So we're going to really arch our back, looking in towards our tummy. And then inhale, dropping the belly, looking up for cow. Exhale, coming back into cat. Moving through this a couple more times, remembering to link with your breath. So inhale, drop the belly towards the ground for cow. And exhale, cat, arching the back. Good. A few more times. And then finding our way back to center. And we're going to bring our knees out towards the edges of the mat, bringing the big toes behind us to touch, And then sinking our hips back. We'll walk our hands out forward, dropping our heart towards the ground. And this is called child's pose. And if at any point during today's class or any yoga classes that you do, if you feel a little bit tired or that you need a break, you can always come into this posture. And you just want to focus on taking nice, long, deep breaths here, relaxing the rest of your body. Taking a big inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. And then coming back up into our tabletop position. We're going to move into our next animal movement, which is downward facing dog. And we're going to tuck our big toes under and then lift our hips back and up so that we're almost in a bit of a mountain pose. And this is called our downward dog. So while we're here, we're going to take our dog for a bit of a walk, bending into one knee and then the other. Taking some time to do this, noticing how it feels on your body. You can either slow down your walk, or you can speed it up as if you're going into a little dog run. And then coming back to normal, we'll shake our tail, moving our hips from side to side, noticing how that feels. And then we're going to start to walk our hands back toward our toes. And if you don't touch here, that's totally fine. You can bend your legs as much as you need. And we're going to come into a bit of a squat. So bringing the sit bones down towards your toes. We're just going to come into a little bit of a balance. So this is going to be a bit of a frog balance here. So on your big toes, you can either keep your hands on the ground or bring them up into a bit of a prayer hands here. And you can keep your sit bones on your toes, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit into more of a yogi frog, you can lift your sit bones up. So just see how that feels. Maybe you want to kind of go between resting your sit bones and going up. So just take a minute. Notice what feels good for your body if you want to challenge yourself today. And once you are done that, we are going to do some frog jumps here. So you can either do this with your hands in your yogi frog. And again, if you are swaying from side to side or falling down, that is totally okay. You can see I'm a little bit wobbly today too. So we just gotta move in the best way that our body feels today. And if you fall, no sweat, just get back up and have some fun with it. So moving into our frog jumps, you can either have your hands in prayer or in front of you. And we're just going to kind of press into our feet and take a big jump up for one frog jump. So have fun with it. We're gonna take about 5 of these frog jumps. Beautiful. So once you're done your frog jumps, maybe notice how it feels. Maybe you want to wiggle your legs from side to side. Stretch out your legs before we move into some of our next postures. And then we'll all just take a little bit of a rest because those frog jumps were quite a stretch. So we'll come back into our child's pose, resting our sit bones on our feet, walking our hands up, letting our chest come flat to the earth, closing down the eyes, and taking a couple long, deep breaths here. We'll inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. Beautiful. And then start to come back up into our downward facing dog. So from our tabletop position, we're going to tuck the toes under And lift the hips, backing up, coming into our downward facing dog. So again, find what feels good for you here. Maybe that's taking your dog for a walk, shaking your tail, having some fun with it. Then we're going to move into a bit of a bear crawl. So we're going to bring our knees just to hovering about a couple inches above the ground. And you can stay here, or we're going to take little steps. So if we bring our right hand up, then our left foot comes up. And then we'll do the other side. So left hand comes up, right leg comes up. So we'll just do some crawling back and forth on our mat. If you want to crawl all around the room you're in as a bear, more power to you. We'll take a couple more seconds doing our bear crawls here. Beautiful. And then making our way back into our downward facing dog. Shaking it out. And then we're going to either slowly walk up to our hands behind our wrists, again, bending the knees as much as you want, or we can take a hop. So we'll bend through the knees, power up the legs, and hop forward so the toes are right behind the arms. And what we're going to do here is more of a complex posture, and it's called crow pose. So this pose takes practice. We're probably not going to get it on our first try, so this is all about having fun with it. If you do not get crow pose on your first try, that is totally okay. We'll come back to it, we'll practice, and the main thing is just having fun and trying something new. So with that in mind, coming back into our posture, we're going to spread our fingers really, really wide and put them on our mat. And then we're going to bring our knees and lock them into our armpits. And then just start to lean forward. And you can just see how that feels. And if you feel confident here, you can maybe try raising one leg and then the other. Maybe if that feels good, you could try raising both legs. Just play with it, seeing how that feels. If you have a pillow or anything, you can try putting that in front of you. And then just resting your forehead as you start to do it. Oh, so that one didn't quite work for me, but there's a bunch of different steps you can do here. So playing around with that for a couple more seconds again, knowing if you fall, that's totally okay. We'll come back to it. Beautiful. And when you're done your crow, we're gonna bring the big toes together once again. Knees mat distance apart, sinking the hips back, dropping the chest, relaxing the shoulders, and breathing here. Taking your long, deep breaths in your child's pose. Inhaling through the nose and release through the mouth. And then walking your hands back up into a seated position. We're going to come into a pose here called butterfly. So we're going to bring our big toes together and our knees are out to the side, and you can hold onto your toes. And again, we're going to grow our spine into a straight back. And we're just going to flap our butterfly wings, relaxing the shoulders, Maybe closing down the eyes, taking a smile here as you take a big breath in. And then let it go. And once that starts to feel good, we're going to bring our right leg out, bring our left foot in to the sole of our foot, or the sole of our thigh. We're going to reach our hands towards our toes, dropping the forehead down towards the knee, relaxing the shoulders, closing the eyes, reaching for our foot. And if we can't reach our foot, you can reach just the ground beneath you. You can put your hands on your shin. Really just finding what feels good for your body and not taking it too far. Inhaling through the nose and release through the mouth. Good. And then coming back up to seated. This time we'll bring the left leg out, right leg comes in. And we're gonna come forward, grabbing for our toes or our shins or the ground or whatever feels good for us. And taking a few nice long deep breaths here. Relaxing through the shoulders. And then coming back up, making our way onto our backs. And moving with our breath, we're going to inhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. And just start to rock it back and forth, or make circles to stretch out your hips and your legs. And then hugging the knee in towards you. Inhale, forehead coming up to meet your kneecap. And exhale, letting it go. Dropping the right leg down towards the mat, taking a breath here. Inhale, left leg comes in towards the chest, giving it a big hug, relaxing the shoulders, moving the leg from side to side or making circles, finding a stretch that feels nice for you. And then inhale, forehead comes up to touch the knee. And exhale, letting it all go. Leg comes down towards the earth. And our last pose here for today, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together, the knees come out, into our butterfly pose. And you can decide just to lay here in stillness, or like you did when we were sitting again, we can flap our butterfly wings. And then maybe after you flap your butterfly wings a couple times, then you choose just to find stillness. Closing down the eyes. Focusing on taking your nice, long, deep breaths. On your next exhale, letting your legs come out in front of you. Maybe keeping your hands on your stomach. Bring them out to the sides or stretched up overhead. Whatever feels best for you. And then we'll close down the eyes. And just imagine that we planted our body into the earth. Letting ourselves relax here. And we'll take the longest, deepest breath that we've taken today. Inhaling through the nose. And release through the mouth. that's the end of today's Animal Moves class. You're welcome to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you want. But thank you so much for practicing with me today, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.